Hi guys, Nikki Davis with the Colorado Group, brokered by eXp Realty, and we are doing a follow-up with Crystal Stearns with the Loan to Home team at North Point Bank. She's our preferred lender, talking about VA eligibility. We felt like this really just needed a video all on its own. So if you kind of want to explain to people, you know, being in a big military town, we have people that own homes all over the place, and how that can impact their purchase when they get stationed here in Colorado.
Absolutely. So the entitlement can vary from person to person. So this is just very general information.
Right.
We would order your certificate of eligibility and see what your eligibility is, how much you've used and how much is left. And then it's a calculation. But for simple math, you can own a home VA, you know, in another state or another part of Colorado and still purchase another home using your VA. A lot of people think that it's a one-time thing. It's not, which is great. The way that it works is in most counties, the max VA loan limit is currently $484,350. So if you were to go above that with your two homes or multiple homes, then you would just have to put some money down. So again, for quick math, if you own a home for $300,000, you have $184,000 left over basically.
Right.
And say you want to buy a house for $300,000, you would have to put down 25% of the difference between the 184 and the 300. So it's still less than, you know, some loans still gives you the lower payment, the lower interest rate, and no mortgage insurance.
Right. So now we had a situation that we worked through last year. One of our buyers owned two separate properties, two different states, both VA, and that's when I was educated through this process, because I just never had this happen before, that he only had a very small amount because it was tied to the property, right? Versus
Yes.
the actual loan amount being paid down. So for example, my buyer had a property in Illinois and one in Florida. The one in Florida was almost all the way paid off. He purchased it a long time ago using VA, but they were still counting his total purchase price in the
Yes.
very beginning against his eligibility. So can you explain to our viewers like what that situation is and how to get around having shenanigans like that when you go to buy a house?
So it's part of the entitlement.
Right.
So VA goes off of the original purchase price, not the loan balance. So that's a situation that you probably want to refi into conventional financing to free up that eligibility to purchase another home. But where it gets funky is you can only do a one-time restoration where you take your VA loan to a conventional loan. You can only do that one time. And
Okay.
that VA loan is still tied to that property. So if you have a house in Florida that is VA, you refinance it onto conventional to buy a house in Colorado. When you sell the house in Colorado, you have to sell the house in Florida.
Oh, okay, and that's always the part that I
It's funky.
forget because it is
It's
rather
funky.
funky. So just, I don't want this video to run too long, but I do want to, you know, have this conversation because these are the next questions that we get live all the time is, okay, so let's say that my sibling in another state is getting stationed somewhere else and they own their home, but they want to keep it for a rental, but they know that they want to purchase where they're moving to. So if you're saying if they refinance into conventional, it still counts against their entitlement. And now if they go to purchase in their new state where they're being located,
Kind of.
okay, so how would they get around that to where their eligibility is all the way freed up, or is that not possible, and still keep that property as a rental?
So the eligibility is available. So they refinance the property in
Right.
Florida, and they free up the eligibility to be able to purchase a home for $484,000 or $350,000 without needing a down payment.
Right.
But they're still connected to where when they sell the house here that they took the VA loan on, they have to sell the house there as well.
Okay, so there's no other way around them keeping that property totally free from VA, even by refinancing into a different loan program. They're always going to be tied together.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, it's funky.
I've been getting this question a lot, and that's kind of why I wanted to dive deeper from a consumer standpoint,
And
just
it's
so that they can
important to
hear
know
it from
that.
the expert.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that, and they think that the solution is to refi. But again, you can only do that one time. It's a one-time restoration, and then the properties are still basically tied in. So you just have to know that, hey, when I sell Colorado property, I have to sell Florida property. Or maybe you keep up both of them, and it's not an issue. But
And then if somebody's accumulating properties through their military service and they're being stationed all throughout the U.S., could they keep those in VA and then on their third one, go ahead and do a conventional loan at that time, as
Absolutely.
long as the rental income offsets
Absolutely.
their DTI?
Mhm.
Okay.
And a lot of times I'll tell people to do that anyway if they, you know, say they have a house in Florida and they want to buy a house in Colorado and it's going to be 3.3% funding fee,
Right.
but they have 5% down. just do a conventional loan.
Okay.
Don't tie up the VA again and have to worry about the big down payment, because sometimes it's less down payment to go conventional. You have the private mortgage insurance, but again, it's just looking at the whole picture, the whole scenario, figuring out what
Really
works
breaking
best
it
for
down.
that client. Yeah.
So this is one thing that we particularly love about working with Crystal, is that she's an expert in this. She's going to run you different scenarios on different loan programs or different interest rates, and look at that whole picture. Another thing that I just love about you is that you guys lend nationwide. So when you do have a client, when we have a client moving from one place to another, she can have a full financial picture of what's going on there and be involved in what's going on here, or vice versa. If you're relocating somewhere else, you know that you're in good hands, because she understands that from a nationwide perspective, not just a local Colorado Springs area. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so thank you for that information.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys for watching this video. We know we went a little long on it, but it's important that you guys are armed with that information to make the best financial decisions that you can for your real estate purchase. So if you need to, call Crystal Stearns, Loan to Home Team, North Point Bank. You can also drop us a message on here, or shoot us a text.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Have a great
Bye.
day.